Okay, so I have another Ask Jeff question, and this is a question asked by Jeff. And the question is, who schedules a coaching class in Toronto in January? Ooh. "32 degrees outside," or as the Canadians say, 0. The Canadians are so dramatic. I'm walking outside actually on my lunch break from my coaching class. I'm getting coached today, and even though it's cold, I had to get out, get a cup of coffee, and just clear my brain a little bit because my brain hurts. My brain is so full right now. It just got me thinking, when's the last time your brain was so full? What are you doing to make sure your brain gets really full? It's actually a good feeling. Stretch your brain, test it out. It can take it. You'll be better off for it. So I'm here in Toronto. I'm being coached today. I coach for a living, so does David. We're being coached today. This is where we get fed. Our brains get fed a little bit. And I find your story really fascinating because you coach yourself. You have a group that you coach, but it's a very specific niche. It's not like everybody else. Tell us just real briefly who you coach.
So I coach about 30 business owners in Rwanda.
Rwanda.
East Africa.
East Africa, okay.
Right.
All right.
And in reality, in many ways, they're just like you and me. As an entrepreneur, you got to figure out, how am I going to pay the bills at the end of the month? How am I going to pay my staff? How am I going to close the next deal?
Yeah.
They're wrestling with many of the same issues we are.
Right.
And I find that being able to articulate your vision, set a 1-year or 3-year strategy, set 90-day sprint goals, and actually execute on that. Those are the same challenges.
These things are all consistent.
They are.
But they're coming from a very difficult background. This is a breath of fresh air to them because, you know, after the genocide, the crisis in Rwanda, of course, a lot of aid went that way. You would take a slightly different take on that. Not that aid is bad, but you're suggesting that there's a better way.
Well, I think aid is critical and was critical to get them over that hump. But now what they really need is investment. And because investment actually drives confidence. Aid doesn't drive confidence. What they really need is confidence. Often I will start at the beginning of the year with a great Dan Sullivan quote, and that is, "Confidence is the electricity of life." That resonates immediately. People go, "Oh my God, you're right. If I don't have it, I can't get out of bed. But if I do, I can conquer that."
And then every success that they have builds that confidence even more. You get that confidence momentum rolling. One last question. You do pretty well in life. You make a good living. But you make a good living by making a good life. It's got to be amazingly rewarding for you, not just to be paid for what it is you do, but to see the true transformation take place in real time.
I would agree with that. To me, the lines blur between what we do professionally and what we might do for other reasons. That's just gray, and I don't like the idea of I'm going to work really hard for 40 years and then I'm going to give back.
Right.
It's life.
Yeah, right. All right. So that's the challenge to you. What are you doing? You're making a good living. Good for you. How do you make a good life for you and for the people around you? We'll see you next time. Hey, I'm at the Toronto airport. There's a big long line behind me. Not people waiting to board their flights. It's Canada. Okay, just to be fair, I was giving people in Canada that time about their line at the Tim Hortons. I'm actually at LAX, and look at the line at Dunkin' Donuts in Los Angeles. My apologies to Canada.